gathered here for a webinar on pathways to become a registered pharmacist, migrate to Australia, and career guidance after pharmacy. Without a further ado, let us now start our program, and I would like to invite our respected principal ma'am to please give a brief intro about this webinar.
Thank you, Sadat ma'am. Good morning, all of you. Dr. Akram sir, CEO and founder of Academically, a global health academy, Mohammed sir, and whole team of the Academically to come over here to give a permission for the webinar and to guide, ready to guide our student regarding to the process of to be the registered pharmacist in the Australia or the like other countries. And of course, good morning to all my dear students to join to this seminar. The purpose of this seminar is mainly what is exactly the procedure to be a government pharmacist in the other countries, okay, or particularly the Australia. Now this program is arranged under the training and placement cell. There is a very much importance of training and placement cell in the every colleges or every institute. So from this year, the LB Riper is also starting this TPC cells very actively. And that TPC cell means training and placement cell is not only that the student should be placed in the industry. Not at all, because some of students, they want to go for the other countries, go in the another countries, and some of the students, they want to go for the higher studies. So those who are interested to go outside of the India, this webinar is particularly for those students and those who are just thinking that what they should do after the completion of B.Pharm. They can also take an idea from this webinar. So I hope so. This will be useful for my student, Dr. Akram, right?
Yes,
So again, I would like to hand over to Sadap Madam for the introduction of our today's speaker, Dr. Akram. Over to you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for this brief introduction about the webinar. Now, without the further delay, I would like to give a brief introduction of our esteemed speaker, Dr. Akram Ahmad. Dr. Akram Ahmad is a PhD graduate from the Faculty of Medicine and Health from the University of Sydney, Australia. Currently, he is working as Burns researcher and research manager at the Children's Hospital at Westmed. Previously, he was a pharmacy academic and has taught pharmacy practice and clinical pharmacy at UCSI University, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. His research program covers areas related to medication use optimization, patient preference and adherence, drug safety, pharmaceutical education, pharmaceutical policy, encompassing about access and affordability of medicine, quality use of medicines in community and health economics. He has active research collaborations and linkages in over 10 countries, including in world's leading universities such as University of Sydney, Boston University, University of Huddersfield, University of Virginia, Marshall University, the University of Queensland, University of Alberta, and many universities in other countries as well. He has published over 110 papers, book chapters, conference papers, including in high-impact journals such as The Lancet Infectious Disease, The Lancet Global Health, PLOS One, BMC Public Health, Journal of Religion and Health, Pharmacy Practice, Disaster Medicine and Public Health Preparedness, and India Journal of Pharmacology. In his credit, a total of 110 publications with a total of 200 plus impact factor, 2200 plus citation, and H index about 25 and I-10 index 56 has been acquired by him. Dr. Akram is the recipient of prestigious Best Promising Researcher Award from the UCSI University in 2016 with a prize money of 10,000 Malaysian ringgit, an Associated Australian Postgraduate Award, and University of Sydney International Scholarship from the Government of Australia and the University of Sydney to support students of exceptional research potential with their study. He is a recipient of the Fast Track Permanent Residency Visa through Australia's Global Talent Independent Program. His research profile is rated among the world's top 5% of scientists on the Research Create, which is a global professional network for scientists and researchers. He's also co-founder of CEO of Academically, uh, which was founded with a single goal in mind to help qualified healthcare professionals across the globe in achieving their passions and dreams by educating and training them to acquire the necessary skills and competency to register themselves as a certified healthcare professionals worldwide. He's also the editor-in-chief of Journal of Pharmacy Practice and Community Medicine. So, with this warm introductions and brief introduction, I would like to request speaker Dr. Akram Ahmad to please start the webinar.
Thank you, Sada, for your warm introduction. So I'm just going to share my screen and going to start. Able to see my screen, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this webinar is basically you are might be a student in year 1, 2, 3, and 4. So if you are planning to migrate to Australia and you are looking to migrate to Australia and New Zealand, so this webinar is going to give you the A to Z information, how you can migrate to Australia and can work as a pharmacist here in Australia. Okay, so there is step-by-step process I will complete first, and then I will take your questions. So whatever your questions you can ask me at the end of webinar, or maybe you can note down questions, or maybe you can just text your question in the chat box also. I will try to give out those. So academically, basically a education-based company, education technology company will provide courses for any medical doctor, pharmacist, nurses, lab technicians, physiotherapists, dentists, if they want to work in abroad, especially Australia, New Zealand, US, Canada. So we provide courses so easily they can pass this exam in their home country and then they can migrate to Australia. For example, you are a pharmacist, so you need to, if you want to migrate to Australia, US, Canada, any country, if you want to practice as a pharmacist, you need to write the exam. So in India itself, you can write the exam and then you can migrate directly on permanent visa. Okay, so in this section, I'm going to discuss about the Australia, but we provide the courses for other countries as well. So I have around 11 years teaching experience in India, Malaysia, in Australia. So I completed my diploma, B Pharm, PharmD from India, and worked several years in pharmacy teaching. Then I moved to Malaysia and I worked about 4 years there as a pharmacy practice lecturer. Last 6 years I'm living in Australia. I'm working as a pharmacy academic here and plus researcher here one of the hospital in Sydney. So I basically the experience in India, Malaysia and Australia, these three countries, especially the pharmacy and scope there and the migration, the process. So here are some of the faculties for us for this course, for the CAPS. So the academically basically provide two services. First, the study abroad. If you want to study in Australia or New Zealand, for example, you want to go for Master of Pharmacy, Master of Pharmaceutical Sciences, and any other healthcare degree, if you want to get done in that, so we will help you in the admission. And secondly, we provide assistance in the registration in migration process to Australia, New Zealand, and Gulf countries at the moment. So the best pathway for you, so you can just pass the exam in from India, and then you can migrate to Australia easily on your permanent visa. Then if you are single, is good. Otherwise, if you are married in your family also, they can migrate with you along with you in Australia. So as a pharmacist, these are the some steps you need to complete if you want to work in retail pharmacy or hospital pharmacy, or you want to work as a hospital pharmacist or retail pharmacist, or also called community pharmacist. So first step, you have to do your initial skill assessment. This is nothing but just a document verification. So any pharmacy college in India approved by PCI, so it is approved by Australian government as well. So first step, they will just check your degree, your transcript, your registration as a pharmacist, and some documents like passport and all those things. And then you need to write a CAPS exam. So academically will provide you the coaching for 4 months, live classes, a full time. And if you are a student, we also started new course for if you are in final year student. So you can join. That is a 1 year program. So weekly one class, one or two class will take. And so once you finish your degrees, then you are ready to write the exam, and immediately you can migrate to Australia. Okay. Then also you need to pass the English test, maybe IELTS, PT, or TOEFL, or OET. Any test you can give, but PT is very easy as compared to other exams. We provide the coaching for PT and plus gaps in English assessment. Okay. So these three steps you need to complete. First is skill assessment, number two CAPS exam, number three PTE. Okay. So all these three steps academical will help you to complete. So no need to worry. You just need to provide us basically the document. Things our team will do for you. And for pharmacists, there is no need to have any work experience, like zero work experience. Also, you can migrate to Australia. You can work as a pharmacist. But if you want to work as an industrial pharmacist, in that case, 2 year work experience is mandatory. So someone is did like Bachelor of Pharmacy or Master of Pharmacy or PharmD or PhD, and if you have a 2 year working experience in manufacturing side, then you can apply as an industrial pharmacist. So in that case, there is no need to write pharmacy exam. Directly you can migrate to Australia. Just only English test you need to pass. Same for pharmacy technician also you can migrate, but those are a diploma holder, like diploma in pharmacy or D pharmacy. So they can only migrate as a pharmacy technician. So in that case also no need to have any work basically there is a 2 year work experience need, but no need to write any pharmacy exam. So for industrial pharmacist or pharmacy technician need 2 year work experience, but no need to write any pharmacy exam. Only English test you pass and you can apply your visa. Same for university lecturer also is there. Someone like Master of Pharmacy or PhD and plus they have 2 year experience. So they also can migrate as a university lecturer. But here is a very low number of pharmacy colleges now. Around only 8 pharmacy colleges here. That's why a pharmacist need a lot of pharmacists from the overseas qualified pharmacists they need to work in Australia. So university lecturer jobs are very low. I can say very minimal jobs. But pharmacist jobs, like a lot of jobs are available for pharmacists in retail pharmacy and hospital pharmacy. So these are the 3 steps you need to complete in order to migrate Australia and New Zealand. So both countries you need to complete these 3 steps, but there is a 2 major difference. When you want to apply, New Zealand required minimum 1 year work experience after your degree in retail pharmacy or hospital pharmacy. In case of Australia, there is no need to have any work experience, like zero experience or you are a fresher, you can migrate in Australia. But for New Zealand, they need 1 year experience. Another major difference, New Zealand give only 2 attempts. If you fail 2 times, you cannot go for 3rd time. But for New Zealand, there's like unlimited attempt. There is no restriction here. So Australia is better than in New Zealand. Australia is a very great country. Also, there are a lot of opportunities in Australia as compared to New Zealand. So highly recommended to try for Australia, not for the New Zealand. So same 3 steps you need to complete in order to Australia and New Zealand is skill assessment. If you want to migrate to Australia, then you have to go for Australian Pharmacy Council. But if you want to go to New Zealand, then you have to go for New Zealand Pharmacy Council to complete your step 1, like initial skill assessment. Then CAPS exam is the same exam you need to write for Australia, same for New Zealand. Same for the English test. English test, maybe you can go for IELTS, PT, TOEFL, OET, any test you can give. Both countries will accept it. So for skill assessment, they need some documents from your side, like degree, your transcript, your registration as a pharmacist, passport size a photograph and your passport photocopy, national ID card like Aadhaar card or any driving license, or maybe the birth certificate. Okay. So these we have to apply for Australian Pharmacy Council. This body basically is like same like we have Indian Pharmacy Council in India. So they are a regulation for education in India. Same for in Australia. So Australian Pharmacy Council is the responsible body to conduct this skill assessment, conduct the exam, and give you the eligibility letter. Then you have to apply for the visa. So for first step, you need to pay the fees 1310 Australian dollar. There is no this is like one time only you need to do. So this is like for lifetime is valid. So like if you cannot give the exam like 3 year 4 year 5 years, there is no restriction. Whenever you want you can give the exam. Second step, basically, there's a exam called CAPS. CAPS nothing but is, if you can see the full form, knowledge assessment of pharmaceutical sciences. So whatever you studied in your Bachelor of Pharmacy, they will ask the questions based on that. So they will just want to check your knowledge. And once you clear this exam, then you are equivalent to a Australian graduate pharmacist. Okay, so this exam basically it give you the equivalency with Australian graduates, and for this exam you need to pay the fees 2,230 Australian dollar. Okay, so around in both the steps you need to pay 3,540 Australian dollar to the Australian Pharmacy Council directly to them. And about this exam, there is basically a two paper in the same day you need to write. The paper one consists with 100 multiple choice question, and you just need to score 50%, and there's no negative marking. Okay, and same for paper two. So the paper one connected like pharmaceutical chemistry, physiology, and pharmacology. This is for paper one, and paper two pharmacotherapy and pharmaceutics. So this is a very, very easy exam. Anyone can pass because just 50% you need to score and no negative marking, and you need to attend all our 100 questions. Okay. And after 3 to 4 weeks, you will receive your results. And once you pass the exam, then you are eligible to start looking a job in Australia. And also you are eligible to apply your permanent visa, and you can migrate to Australia with your family. So this is, you might be know, this is I think Surat-based pharma tutor, but one of the very famous in India. So they always publish the jobs in trainings in India for pharmacists. So they published recently one of the article about us. So in our last batch, 93% students pass in their first attempt. So this exam is very, very easy. Anyone can pass. When any average student, if you can pass the pharmacy degree from India, you can pass this exam. Okay. And next step, basically, you need to go for English requirements or English test. As I told you, you have to go for IELTS, OET, or PT, TOEFL, any test you can give. But PT is very, very easy. So highly recommended go for PT. So if your score 6 in IELTS, so you can score 7 in PT, equivalent like 65 in PTE. Okay. If you are scored 7 in IELTS, you can score 8 in PTE. That's why in Australia, those are coming to study here and want to work. Mostly like 90% people are, they are given the preference for the PTE test. So skill assessment, then CAPS exam, and then English. Then you can file your visa for PR visa. This is for pharmacists. But now here we are talking about the industrial pharmacist. So someone already completed their bachelor degree. Now they are working in any manufacturing unit. They can migrate as an industrial pharmacist to Australia. And there's no required to write CAPS exam. But 90% jobs are available in retail in hospital pharmacy. So little bit difficult to find a job in industrial in Australia. And same for pharmacy technician, they need to write pharmacy exam, but you need to go for skill assessment, then PTE exam, then EOI and visa. You can file, and there is no need to write this pharmacy exam. And there are some visa you are eligible to get in Australia. The first visa, like subclass 190, then subclass 491, subclass 482, 494, 407. So the first two are like a permanent visa. They will give you for 5 years. Then after 3 years, you can change your citizenship if you want, or you can renew every 5 years your permanent visa if you need. Okay. And next step, basically, next visa is called 491 regional sponsored visa. They will give you for 5 years this visa, but after 3 years, you are eligible to apply your PR visa. And then after 1 year, you can get a citizenship. But these are the three are the work visa. So once you pass this CAPS exam plus English, then you have to start looking a job in Australia. So you have to find out a job offer letter, and then you can apply these visa 482, 494, 407. Okay. So most of the students ask, do I need a sponsor to get visa? So for PR visa, for permanent visa, do not need any sponsor. State government itself is sponsoring your visa, so you can migrate. But if you are want to work in Australia, you want to come on a work visa, in you need to have a sponsor. So once you pass the exam and get the visa and come to Australia, so you will get a first job. You have to work for 1 year called intern pharmacist. Okay. And the salary you will get around $30 per hour salary for intern pharmacist. And then after 1 year, you can become a pharmacist. Then you have to go for community pharmacy. You can also work in hospital pharmacy. You can work later on clinical pharmacist or hospital pharmacist and all those things. On an average salary for pharmacists in Australia, around 80 to 120,000 yearly. And if we convert it into Indian rupees, to around 3 to 5 lakh Indian rupees in per month. Average time will take in this whole process about 6 months to 1 year. And these are the some reviews from some of our students. And you can write also the if you have any questions, note down your this email ID, or you can also chat on our these numbers. You also can be talk to Amin and Sadiq. They are in India. I think they visited your college also last time. Okay. So now I'm happy to take your questions. So whatever you have. Yes, please. Ask your questions now, your doubts.
Guys, if you have any questions, please unmute yourself and come out and then ask your questions, please.
Or you also can write this question in your chat box. Ramin can share this. There is a form also is there. So you can fill that form and we will get back to you if you have any questions. Document verification, there is no expiry. It is a lifetime. But for exam, there is an expiry for 3 years. So once you pass the exam, within 3 years, you need to come to Australia. Okay. Document verification lifetime, but exam have the expiry for 3 years. Any other question?
Hello.
Yes.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
I just want to ask. I have heard about many exams like OSPAP and other like PEBC for Canada. Is there a validation of OSPAP exam in Australia or?
First of all, OSPAP is not an exam. OSPAP is a course. So if you want to practice in UK, then you need to go there and study OSPAP course. This is a 1 year course, one and a half year course. Some universities offer. Then you have to pass the exam, then you have to complete the internship. So in UK is very tedious process. It might take 5 to 7 years to become a pharmacist for any Indian pharmacist. That's why I do not recommend to go for UK. But for Australia is a CAPS exam, KAPS, knowledge assessment of pharmaceutical sciences. So it's very easy exam. Basically you have to think you have to basically three important factors while deciding where you have want to go. Basically, first the visa process, which country can give you the easily the visa. Secondly, the easy process to become a pharmacist, or the exam process. Okay, so if I compare with Australia, Canada, and UK, so UK is not give any registration directly. First of all, you have to go to study there, and you have to invest around 30 lakh Indian rupees, and it might take 5 to 7 years to become a pharmacist in UK. Secondly, like PBC for Canada. So PBC, the exam passing rate is 20%. In Australia, as I mentioned, that pharma tutor mentioned about us, 93% students pass in their first attempt. Okay, so now you can imagine that. And then another important, for Australia, the 50% passing marks required, but in case of Canada, required 60%. And so Australia is very easy to get a visa and to migrate there, and high salaries. And a lot of Indians are coming. Even today, I'm talking to you guys, and today is our Prime Minister here in Australia, in Sydney. So nowadays, basically, a very good relation also with India and Australia. So very easy for Indians to migrate to Australia. Easily they can migrate. Yes, Yasha, any other question?
Sir, we have a question in the chat box. Can we get visa for internship?
Yes. This is not a visa for internship. This is a visa for you. They will give you visa for 5 years. Internship only for 1 year. Okay. Then you can continuously you can work and live there. They give visa for 5 years, not for 1 year. Even for I think Preeti Patel from Gujarat, she is our student. She passed the exam in our last batch. So she is registered pharmacist. Currently, she is working in ACT, the Canberra capital of Australia. She is working. Another student from Dhruv Joshi. He's also our student. So he and his wife, they passed the exam. He got the visa. So he's, I think, hopefully next month he's flying to Australia. So we have some of students already from Gujarat. They pass with us, but we have around more than 500 students. Most of the students we have from like Kerala, Andhra Pradesh. So many students they pass the exam. They're already in Australia. They are working as a pharmacist. Uh, so passing is not a problem. Very easy exam. You can pass easily. And visa also very easy. Any other question, please? Or please, guys, you can fill this form. So after the conversation, also if you have any questions, you can chat with Amin and Sadiq.
Sir, Sadaf Mirza has asked one more question. Can we write this exam while in India, while living in India?
Yes, मैंने ये तो बताया था आपको का इंडिया में एग्जाम लिखना है. There are 8 centers in India. So this exam is going to head 3 times in a year: March, July, and November. Okay. So there is 8 center in India. Like Delhi, we have 3 centers: Delhi and Noida and Gurgaon. Then we have Mumbai, one center in Pune, 5 center, another center in Bangalore, another in Hyderabad and Chennai. So these are the 8 centers in India currently. So we will provide you the coaching, and you just need to go for exam center and pass the exam. And same for English also. And once you pass the exam, then directly you need to apply your permanent visa. And so we help you even in the job also. So we provide free job assistance as well. How you can find a job in Australia, for example. Okay, you will change your CV as per the Australian standard. How to write the cover letter, and what are the websites here you have to basically start looking at your job. There are so many consultancy here. They hire foreign pharmacists. We will give you all this information. And sometimes we also receive a lot of jobs, so we also share with our student. Please apply if you want. So Job is not a problem. And every year, basically, Australia government gives 195,000 permanent visa. So a lot of people are coming, from India. Around 50,000 Indians every year they are migrating from India to Australia. And for healthcare professionals, for pharmacists, basically like a critical shortage is going here. So they are given visa in very very short time, like 4 days, 5 days, 1 week. Yes, this is a very common question. Students sometimes they fail and they have backlogs. Okay, and so sometimes they have a very low CGPA in their pharmacy degree. So is there any impact in migration to Australia? So there is no impact. They just want to see you just need to pass your degree. Whether it is you pass in 4 year, 5 year, or 6 year, doesn't matter. Okay, they just need to check your degree you pass, and whatever your percentage, maybe 50 or 90 percentage, doesn't matter. Everyone has to go with the same exam. If you can pass the exam, you can migrate to Australia.
Any other questions?
Any other guys? So this exam is, in India earlier, people basically don't know. There's not much awareness about this CAPS exam. So that's why we are creating, trying to, because always a student in pharmacy student complain that this course is not good. We are not getting a job, this and that. So a lot of opportunities for you, not just in Australia, because you have to see like US, Canada, UK, and other countries. So academically is here to help you wherever you want. Okay. So Australia at the moment for next 2 years, one of the best country I can say, because here is a government change. So they are given very high number of visas, especially for Indians. Okay, so very high chance for you to get the visa once you pass the exam. Anyone have any कोई question guys? हिंदी में पूछो, इंग्लिश में.
Even I would request Dr. Upma and any faculty member want to ask any question, because they may face like students. The students may ask. So if you have any questions, you can ask now.
Yeah, the total cost will be not much. It might be 4 to 5 lakh only total. And we have basically your EMI option also, even if you are not able to, afford this fees also. Basically, I'm including the government fees. So maximum, I think 70%, 60% fees you need to pay to directly to the government. For example, your skill assessment fees, exam fees, visa fees, all those fees you have to pay directly to them. And next question is from Nofel. How many months will take this process? I already told you that it may take around 6 months to 1 year. So skill assessment will take around 2 to 3 months. And so from day one onwards, we will apply your skill assessment and you have to enroll. We will provide you the coaching or live classes from Australia. Every day, basically, we take around 10 hours lecture weekly. And we also, you have to require basically just 3 hours you need to study per day for 90 days, and you can pass the exam easily.
Hello, sir.
Yes, ma'am, Dr. Ngom.
Just a minute. Actually, I want to ask that if student decided today that they want to go to the Australia, okay, then how much time is required for this process?
I mean, basically from day one onwards, if he join, for example, academically, as I told you, the time depend, in which exam student want to appear. For example, next exam is going to be held in November.
Right.
So if a student can sit in that exam, so within 6 months he can come to Australia. But if a student don't want to go November, he wants to sit next year March. So obviously, the 4 months is going to be 6 months. So almost 6 months minimum I can say required, and maximum 1 year. Yes, PT required 65. So basically, English required 2 times. One is for your registration as a pharmacist, and another required for English for your visa. So even if you have a 50 also score in PT, you can file your visa. But for registration as a pharmacist, required minimum 65. And here is the education is free. Someone is married, have 2, 3, 4, 5 kids, whatever. The education is free up to 12 for everyone. And healthcare is free for you if you are migrating to Australia. So, so tax and all those things basically is nothing. The same like in India, if you are earning in India also, you need to pay to the tax to the government. So same for here. But there is so many other advantages. I told you, like education is free, healthcare is free, and the money whatever you are getting is more than enough living and working. Even you can save in 1 month whatever you are going to earn in 1 year in India. So in India, basically fresher pharmacist maybe the 15,000 salary, right? So you can imagine that up to 2 lakh, 1.5 lakh easily you can save in Australia per month. Any other question? Okay, then I think you guys can fill this form in the chat box already given. So if you have any questions, you can ask later on also. So I think we can finish if there is no question.
Yes, guys, I request you all to fill in the feedback form. And if your questions are unanswered, you can mention your questions there also so that we can come back to you. We can call you and separately we can have a one-on-one session with you. Mohammad Junaid has raised his hand. Yeah, Junaid, you can unmute yourself and ask, please. Mohammad Junaid, you have any question?
You can also write your question in the chat box, Mohammed Junaid. Well, I would like to appreciate your professionalism, and I also want to thank you, Dr. Ahmad sir, for the points you made, and also to the students and the delegates for asking the questions. Thanks a lot, sir, for giving us your precious time from their busy schedule. Truly, this webinar has give us the light about the careers in the Australia, and I'm sure this precious knowledge will definitely give us about how to become a pharmacist in the Australia, as well as the career uh, options in the Australia. I would also like to thank Dr. Upma Trivedi ma'am for organizing and arranging this webinar. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay, thank
And
you.
thank you, sir. I would like to request all the participants to please open the video to take the screenshot. I would like to request, please open the video.
Hello, Akram sir. Hello.
Yes, yes, Manish.
Sir, I am a Indian pharmacist, but I have not registration in PCI. So I have any job in Australia?
तो तुम pharmacist बोल के you are not a pharmacist then you are
No.
equivalent to BA or BSc without registration.
D-Pharma diploma in pharmacy, but after long time is not a registration in India, PCI.
Registration is mandatory. Then only you can say you are a pharmacist. Without registration, you cannot even say you are a pharmacist. Registration is mandatory whether it is Australia or any other country. Even if your own country is not recognizing you as a pharmacist, how you can expect a job in abroad? They will give you a job. You are not registered pharmacy in open. So registration is mandatory. You have to register yourself first in India. Then you have to think about the abroad.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Registration guide. Once you complete your degree, your first job to register yourself as a pharmacist. Whether you are working or need or not, you might need later on. So many students sometimes they do not register in state pharmacy council. When they need, they also I don't do not register in registration. Registration is mandatory. So you yourself you have to register in your state pharmacy council. It's a mandatory step for you. Then after that only you can work in India or abroad wherever you want. Okay.
Okay.
I would request all the participants to please turn on the camera so that we can take a screenshot. If you have any other question, you can still type it in the chat box, or you can even mail to the academically directly.
Junaid, you can fill this form and our team will get back to you. So I have already, I think, mentioned in all those the steps. Basically, if you want to migrate to Australia, so you need to go for first skill assessment, then you need to write this CAPS exam, then English exam, then you can migrate to Australia. Okay. तो अभी चैट बॉक्स में हमने एक फॉर्म डाला है, उसको आप फिल कर दीजिए, तो हमारी टीम आपको कॉल करके बताएगी पूरे सारे स्टेप्स. ओके. एंड एनीवन हेल्थ किसी को कुछ और भी क्वेश्चन है तो आप लोग जो है फॉर्म को फिल कर दें, ताकि हमारी टीम आपसे बाद में भी आप मैं बेसिकली डेली 3 PM बेसिकली जो है इंडियन टाइम के अकॉर्डिंग 1-on-1 करता हूँ. जो भी स्टूडेंट के बाद में भी इंक्वायरीज रहेगी तो हमारी टीम आपसे कनेक्ट करा देगी आपके लिए. ठीक है, तो आप उस फॉर्म को फिल कर दें. आपका कोई स्पेसिफिक क्वेश्चन है तो आप वहाँ पूछ लें, अगर आप यहाँ नहीं पूछ पा रहे हैं तो. ठीक है.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you once again.
Bye.
Okay, I will share that link to my students and I'll check that everyone fill that link. And if any questions, then I will make sure that